Hey sports fans, we're back again, and today we're going to take a look at one of, if not the best, receiver in the National Football League, Arizona Cardinals three-time All-Pro DeAndre Hopkins. From his route running to his unbelievably sticky hands, which are both as good as it gets when it comes to the position, the man they call Nuke has proven to be one of the standards in all of football ever since exploding into the scene back in 2013. Playing like Nuke means training and preparing like Nuke, and in today's video, we're going to explore what the 28-year-old does to take his game to the heights that he does. But before we get into that, go ahead and click that subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber so you can stay up to date on our content. All done? Alright, let's go. When the Houston Texans shipped DeAndre Hopkins prior to the 2020 season, they knew what they were letting go of. A consummate workout and training machine with the type of wanted factor you desire in your alpha receiver. If you ask Hopkins himself, he'll tell you that he's trying to be like Jerry Rice, and that's what drives him day in and day out, catching Jerry Rice. Well, if you know anything about Jerry Rice's work ethic, the dude was a maniac when it comes to getting himself ready for game day and did workouts that could drive the average person insane. Rice was truly a monster off the field, and it translated on it. You may have been bigger than Rice, you may have been faster than Rice, but you're never going to outwork him, and that's what made him so unstoppable on game days. The same could be said about DeAndre Hopkins and his tireless work ethic and desire to be the best to ever do it. So how does Hopkins get himself ready for game day? First, you should know that DeAndre is his hardest critic, and will look at his previous year's films and statistics and examine where his game needs the most work. For instance, coming off a down year in yards after catch prompted D-Hop to work on his explosiveness. Nuke isn't the fastest man on the field with a clocked 40 time of 4.57 seconds, but he doesn't have to be. As long as he's able to get in and out of breaks with explosion and precision, Hopkins is able to separate enough to get open routinely with quick steps, head fakes, and razor-sharp cuts. To enhance this area of his game, D-Hop uses items like parachutes and resistance balls that creates enough drag and tension that it builds his overall leg strength. The parachute and resistance work that Hopkins puts in also increases his sprint endurance for passes and has shown an ability to separate at the second level of the football field. The speed work also improves his acceleration, which helps him get open quicker. We know football is a game of inches, and when you're a marked man by the defense like DeAndre is, every inch counts. Plus, the dude only needs to be open by a whisker and sometimes not at all to come down with the catch. To cap off his explosion workouts, Hopkins also does box blasts, lateral bounds, and single-leg hurdle hops. Not only is it a game of inches out there on the gridiron, but it's also a game where every second counts. Switching from the Texans to the Cardinals meant getting up to speed in more ways than one. The Arizona Cardinals ranked 4th in the league in how many seconds per play they ran. Their no-huddle, hurry-up offense, keep the defense on their toes playing style means that Hopkins has to have peak conditioning to be able to shave around 2 seconds per play off how much rest he gets. It may not sound like a lot, but when you're getting 60 to 70 plays a game, that's over 2 minutes less of recovery than you're used to. To get ready for the transition, Hopkins spent the 2020 offseason with his trainer tweaking his workouts to improve his conditioning and endurance. As we said earlier, he worked on his sprint endurance with the help of parachutes and resistance cables, while Hopkins also uses cones and ladders to work on his route running and conditioning by giving himself shorter breaks than he's used to in order to improve his recovery time. D-Hop also uses tempo runs, which are running over a short to medium distance but at a higher pace than you'd normally run. By doing this, Hopkins is able to clear lactic acid from his body quicker, which means he can run longer without fatigue or building up more lactic acid. When it comes to sharpening his routes, Hopkins spares no expense or leaves no rock unturned. When you're frequently lining up against the team's top defensive back or drawing the occasional double team, it's important that your route running is as precise as it could be. Hopkins works on his release like a maniac with his trainer and defensive back so he can remain on the top of his game. Whether it's running routes through cones or ladders or just on the field, Hopkins, being the route technician that he is, makes sure he's keeping his route game as sharp as it can be by recording his sessions and going back and looking at his routes to make sure his releases all look the same regardless of what route he's running, and that he's not wasting any steps or space on the football field. Since 2016, Hopkins began using a drone to record himself from an aerial vantage point as well so he could fine-tune his routes even more. We don't know how many routes Hopkins runs during a training session, but he's said to work on it relentlessly, sometimes spending as much as 3 hours on this alone. As one of the best contested catch receivers in the game thanks to his crazy body control and impossibly sticky hands, it's no wonder Nuke is feared and respected by the league's best cornerbacks including Jalen Ramsey, Stephon Gilmore, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and Xavier Howard. One of Hopkins' main focuses when it comes to his hands is his hand strength and is said to be something he works on all day, even when he's driving. You heard that correctly. What is this hand technique, you say? Unfortunately, D-Hop said he won't even give away the secret he does behind the wheel because he doesn't want other receivers copying this particular exercise. However, a secret he will share is that he doesn't train with gloves on because using his bare hands improves his muscle memory. He says if he's able to grip a ball barehanded, when he puts on gloves during the game, catching passes is like clockwork. He also says not using a glove gives his hands extra strength to compensate for balls being thrown his way that are tougher to hold on to. To up his spectacular catching ability, something that's one of his trademarks, D-Hop practices a lot of his catching exercises using tennis balls, golf balls, and medicine balls, all while working on a balance ball. He likes using the balance ball because it gives his core a solid workout too while improving his balance and hand-eye coordination all in one. Since we're on core, by building his core strength, Nuke also works his contact balance so he's not easily taken down by defenders and can shed would-be tacklers off while he's trying to keep from going down to the ground. Some of the exercises he uses to keep that contact balance among the league's best are heaving wall balls at full strength, side to sides with medicine balls, and a 35 or 45 pound plate, and of course his trusty resistance band. Hopkins is as tough as they come and his game tape proves it. Ever see what happens when you jam him at the line of scrimmage? Let's just say it doesn't always go well for the other guy. Another part of being a route technician is being able to get off the line of scrimmage, and one way DeAndre improves this trait is by incorporating boxing into his workout to take his hand fighting to another level. We showed you how to train like a beast, but what about eating like one? Hopkin knows that the work you put in on the training field equates to what you see out there when it comes to game time. The 28-year-old NFL vet has also learned that what you put into your body plays a pivotal role in both training and how effective you are on the football field come Sundays. As a Beyond Meat ambassador, DeAndre's diet is primarily plant-based. We say primarily because he said he will still eat fried chicken every now and again or something he's not supposed to, but he tries to stay true to his diet. After becoming a big fan of vegetarian eating because it makes him feel better and gives him more energy, he joined a host of other athletes who are now opting for plant-based options. Aside from loading up on the non-meats that taste like meats, he eats a ton of fruits and nuts. Hopkins is also a big fan of Manuka honey and says he puts it on everything from cereal to chicken and even claims to put it on his face. We're not going to question Nuke on that one. Hey, if it works, it works. Maybe that's why his game is so sweet. Alright, sports fans, that's it for our time on Arizona Cardinals wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins and his insane workout and diet. We hope you've learned a little about what makes Nuke tick and the many ways he strives to improve his daily diet in order to stay towards the top of the elite wideout pecking order. Let us know what you think about DeAndre's exercise and diet by dropping a comment, and as always, if you haven't subscribed already, do me a favor and click that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on this channel and all things football. Until next time, sports fans.